working without pay. Working just for the satisfaction of helping others. What a concept. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called volunteering. We're here today at this fantastic celebration to honor the dozens of volunteers who help out at Pittsburgh's 13 Healthy Active Living Centers.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? Good, good. My name is Ross Chapman. I'm the director of the Citiparks department for the city of Pittsburgh. I want to welcome you all and thank you all for being here for the 33rd annual Senior Volunteer Gala recognition. So it means a lot that you're here and welcome. Thank you very much. We have a lot of friends here with us today, some of them on stage. A few folks couldn't be here. The mayor couldn't be here today because I believe he's traveling. He's out of town. County Executive Fitzgerald should be here soon, but we're going to get underway. We're going to start the program because I believe lunch service is promptly brought out by 11:30 this morning. So welcome to the 33rd Annual Healthy Active Living Senior Volunteer Gala. In 2018, we've had over 1,000 volunteers who've provided up to, and probably beyond, at least 100,000 hours of service. So we're delighted to have approximately 300, maybe a few more, here today with us. Thank you so very much for all that you've done for the program. We couldn't do this without you. Jim and Gloria, Jim Crash and Gloria Townsend, program supervisors, all the center directors, all the rec leaders, they work really, really hard. But there's only so many of us. We couldn't do all the things that we do without your assistance to provide the services to you guys, the program and the activities, all of which we hope to expand. So thank you very much. Sincerely, thank you. Would everyone like to please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? If you could stand, those of you who can stand, would be great. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So, as all of you know, our advisory council and our committee members play a really important role in how we deliver services, how we construct programming, all the things that we try to engage our senior members in. So they're a critical component to everything that we do every day. So I'd like to just recognize the 2018 Advisory Council presidents from each of our Healthy Active Living Centers. At Beachview, I don't think Sue's here, but Sue Pfeiffer from Beachview. Brighton Heights, Ted Zock. Is Ted here? Glen Hazel, we have Sarah Robinson. Greenfield is Arlene Whitmer. Thank you, Arlene. Thanks. Thanks, Arlene. Hazelwood is May Norris. Thanks, May. I spoke to May earlier this morning. Thanks, May. Homewood, Miss Donna Taylor. Lawrenceville, Anna Marie O'Brien. Morningside, Dolly King. Mount Washington, James McDonald. I don't think James will be here this morning. Northview Heights, Winnie Evans. Our Sheridan Center, Dolores Bickle. Southside, Carol Coltis. Thanks, Carol. West End, Sheila Hartless. Thank you to all of you for your dedication to serve as presidents on the advisory councils, help shape what we do every day, help with all those fiscal activities and management of that stuff. It's really important, and we couldn't do it without you. So we'd like to formally welcome a few folks that are with us here today. As I mentioned, the mayor couldn't be here. Hopefully County Exec Fitzgerald will show. We have State Representative Ed Gainey, who's here with us today. From Congressman Mike Doyle's office, we have Joe Heffley's here. Thanks for being here on behalf of the Congressman. Thank you, Joe. Formerly from Venture Outdoors, but from Economic Development South. Am I saying that right? We have Joey Lynn Ulrich. A lot of you know her through Venture Outdoors programming. She's here today as well. We have the chair of the Urban and Recreation Committee, Councilman Anthony Coghill, who's always supporting us here. A few other folks in the room I'd like to recognize is Councilwoman Darlene Harris. I think I saw the councilman here somewhere. Which councilman? Councilman O'Connor is in the back of the room, who has served as the chair of Urban Rec for quite some time. Thank you, Councilman. We have the director of the Department of Public Works, Director Mike Gables here. Thanks, Director. Am I missing anybody? Thanks to everybody for being here today. It's really important. And I'd also like to welcome a special thanks to a few other centers that we kind of aligned some services with, Allentown, Penn Hills, and Plum Centers. Thanks for your participation and support as well. So I'd like to bring up our center director from our Homewood Healthy Active Living Center through the efforts of Melinda McCormick and Ed Ulrich. There's a lot of work that goes into this. They're masters at it. I do very little, and I think it's really important that they do more of the talking than I do. So, well, thank you, Melinda. Please welcome Melinda.
Can't move the mic down, right? Thank you, Rod. Before we begin, a special thank you is in order from our Citiparks Health Program to a man of many talents, a man who has stretched his talents to not only his home center, but to each and every one of the 12 Healthy Active Living Centers. This man, Mr. Charlie C. Jr., was born August the 20th, 1947 to Mary and Charlie C. He was born and raised in the Hill District of Pittsburgh. Mr. C, also the oldest sibling of 5 children. He now has 5 children and 2 grandsons of his own. After graduating high school, he joined the United States Army. And between the Army and the National Guard, he served for more than 30 years. While serving in the Army, it was noted that he had a good eye for photography. As such, the Army sent him to photography school, and once the Army photographer position was available, Mr. C was asked to take pictures for the United States Army. Mr. C was an avid runner, starting in elementary school and lasting well into his 60s. Mr. C ran in many marathons, including Pittsburgh and West Virginia. He doesn't run anymore, but still walks in many marathons to stay active. Mr. C joined the Healthy Active Living community about a decade ago, after hearing about the senior games. Mr. C now takes pictures for weddings, graduations, and proms. Mr. C has lent his talent to several events at our senior centers. He has helped around the center without even being asked. Whether it's mopping up the spill, washing pots and pans, decorating different holidays, even cleaning the leaves from in front of the building. Mr. C is a respected and amazing member of the Healthy Active Living Center community, one that makes each day better. Please join me for welcoming Mr. Charlie C.
This is Charlie C.
As a token of our appreciation from the Citiparks Health Program, we present you with a special gift. We thank you for going above and beyond in every way.
Oh, that's nice.
All right. Now, I would like to welcome Representative Ed Gainey for the state proclamation for Mr. C.
First and foremost, I want to congratulate you. I think it's amazing when people honor you because of the service that you provide. I think it speaks to the love that you deposit right back into the center in which you participate in. So even before I do this proclamation, can we give him another round of applause? And whereas Mr. Charlie C. Jr. was born August 20th, 1947 to Mary and Charlie C., he was born and raised in the legendary Hill District of Pittsburgh. Mr. C. is also the oldest sibling of 5. He now has 5 grandkids and 2 grandsons, 5 children and 2 grandsons of his own. Now 3, so they still growing, the legacy continues. And whereas after graduating high school, he joined the United States Army, and between the Army and the National Guard, he served more than 30 years to protect our borders and give us freedom. For that, he should be applauded. While serving in the Army, it was noted that he had a good eye while taking pictures. As such, the Army sent him to photography school. In addition, when the Army photographer's position was available, Mr. C was an easy choice to take on that responsibility. And whereas Mr. C was an avid runner, starting in elementary school and lasting well into his 60s, wow, my mind. Mr. C has done many marathons, including Pittsburgh and West Virginia. He does not run anymore, but still walks many marathons to stay active. A decade ago, after hearing of the senior games, Mr. C joined the healthy and active living community where he could stay active. And whereas Mr. C now takes pictures for weddings, graduations, proms, and takes pictures for different events that we have at our senior center, Mr. C does things at our center without being asked. He does it all because of the love he has not only for the center, but for the people that go there. And that he wants the people, when they come in there, to have a great time and come to a clean and tidy spot. I believe whenever you have somebody that shows his love with an action, we should all be grateful for him. Ladies and gentlemen, today I, State Representative Ed Gainey, give you the state proclamation and say thank you for your service. And he just told me he starts shooting for the senior news. I just got one more comment I want to make. I want to thank Belinda, because without a great manager at our center, I don't think we would get half of the things that we do. And because of our advocacy, we were able to secure a state grant for the Homewood Brushing Senior Center. And I want to say thank you for your advocacy, Homewood. I love you.
Thank you, Representative Gainey. Hope to see you again soon, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, sir. Thanks again. Thanks for being here. And hats off to Mr. C. I think we're going to just change up a little bit of our program schedule here. We don't want to delay all these introductions and delay lunch. But I think it's important that one of the program supervisors, I'm not sure where Jim is, but Gloria's up here. All of you, probably everyone in this room, knows Gloria Townsend, and I think it's important that she address you, welcome you, and you thank her for all that you do and all that she does. So Gloria, please come up.
I don't need my mic adjusted, but thanks. Thanks, everyone, and good morning. And I just want to tell you how great you look from up here. You look fantastic. And I would like to thank you all for coming out and for letting us honor you as our volunteers, because you have been outstanding. As Ross stated before, you step up when a lot of other people are sitting at the center doing other things. But you're the ones that we need that really keep the center rolling, keep us focused. You just do a lot of different things for us. You go above and beyond. When there's something that you see that needs done, you just step up and do it. And I just want to let you know that we are so grateful for all of you because you mean so much to us. And all the volunteers that are here that are coming in from the high schools and from just from the community, we would also like to thank you too because you've done a great job. And it's really wonderful to see some of the some of the youth come into the centers and volunteer with us. We really appreciate that. And our seniors really appreciate you being there. I know when I was the center director, I loved having them come over at lunchtime, serving lunch, and just getting to know them and getting to talk to them. Because sometimes we don't get to talk, myself included, we don't get to talk to young people very much. So when we get that opportunity, we like to take advantage of it. And I just want to say thank you to them also. Also, I would like to thank our staff. And as I call their names, if they would stand up, I would really appreciate that. First, I'd like to have Jim. Jim, where are you? Jim Krashner, is he in here? He's my counterpart in all this, and without him, I couldn't do. Well, the city couldn't do a lot of things. Jim's been around for a long time, and he really knows the ins and outs of everything. So we really appreciate him. I'd also like to thank the folks who actually got this together, and that was Melinda and Ed. Melinda McCormick and Ed Ulrich. They could stand. Each year, Melinda and Ed, they really, there's Ed, they really go above and beyond, getting this together, for our senior volunteers, and we want them to know that we appreciate them. So if you could give them a round of applause, they're our committee. And next, we'd like to have our center director stand, please, so everyone will know who they are. And I know you know who your directors are, but you get to know the rest of the directors around the city. First would be Renee Flaherty. She's from Beachview. I don't think Renee is here today. Brighton Heights and Northview Heights, Ellie Mitchell. Greenfield, Ed Ulrich. Hazelwood, Lynn Hazel will be Eric Schiller. Homewood would be Melinda. Acting Director of Lawrenceville would be Steve Hartman. Morningside would be Roberta Jones. Mount Washington, Noreen O'Malley. Sheridan, Norma Jean Barnes. And right now, Southside is not open right now, but the person who is there currently working would be Kristen Coyne. West End would be Julia Heath. And also, for making this room really beautiful, it takes a lot of work. And I would just like to recognize the woman who does this and her staff, Nancy Burns. Would you stand? Okay. Okay, I just want to just let you know, this takes a lot of work getting this, just getting this together, but we want you to know that you're all worth it. You're worth it, and the city feels that you're worth it, and you're worth doing this for, and we just appreciate you so much. And I just can't say enough good things about you, because I know how difficult it is to run a center without you. So I can't imagine anybody trying to do it without volunteers. So please keep doing what you're doing, and to let you know that we really love you and we really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks, Gloria. Very well said. I have the privilege of introducing, for a few remarks, County Executive Fitzgerald. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It is always great to be here and always good to see so many folks who have done so much for this community, not just last year, but for years and years and years. You know, Pittsburgh right now is a place that's red hot nationally. Everyone's giving us all this attention. And, you know, Borno Johnny come lately. There's a lot of people in this room that have been working for years and years to make our neighborhoods, make this community, make this city the special, great place that it is. I know you probably gave a shout out to him already, but I got to give a shout out to my friend Corey in the back of the room, because for the last 7 or 8 years, Councilman O'Connor, I see him standing there with Congressman Doyle's staff, Joe. I tell my friend Anthony, Councilman Coghill, there's some big shoes to fill, because I think for the last 7 years, Corey and I sat here. His mom would often be here and the family, and there's just, to see the camaraderie that goes on in this community is really just tremendous. And we could never pay for all the work, the citizens, the taxpayers could not pay for all the service hours that you provide in the community, making the communities better, making the communities vibrant. And I know for some of these, you know, we got these young people moving in, which is great. We're excited about that. But we also got to make them understand the tradition, and that's kind of your job, to pass on the specialness of the neighborhoods. They didn't just become great neighborhoods when they moved in over the last couple of years. We're glad to have them here. But, you know, it was made special in the South Hills, in the East End, in the West End, out in the North Side, you know, South Hills, et cetera, because of people that have been doing great things for a lot of years. And we're glad to partner, the county's Department of Human Services with the senior centers and the Parks Department and the city. It's a great partnership and a great relationship. And with Mayor Peduto and his team, you know, we're going to continue to do that. So enjoy your lunch, enjoy the day, enjoy a great, great city that you helped to build for many, many years, and let's keep our momentum going. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. I think last year, Councilman, when did you?
Last year was my first.
Yeah, so this is, most of you met, some of you met Councilman Coghill, who's the chair of our Urban Recreation Committee. So he's done a pretty tremendous job helping me align a few things across the network of everything that we do, not just senior program, but our community rec programming. Everything. So he's been instrumental in a lot of stuff that we've been trying to push through, and I want to welcome him this morning. Councilman Anthony Coghill.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. You know, I really love this event. Brings, you know, all the different neighborhoods together. You get to know each other. It's like the grand ball, you know, which everybody gets dazzled up, and I'm just really proud to be a part of it. As the county executive mentioned, I did have some really big shoes to fill in the way of Councilman O'Connor, you know. And I'll tell you, Corey, it's not just a bunch of old people like you said to me. They look young and vibrant to me. I don't know, you know. I don't know what he's talking about, you know. The fact that I have to wear these glasses will tell you I'm not far from being a member myself. But no, I know I do have big shoes to fill, and I'm glad he's here in Greenfield, his neighborhood. Boy, are they well represented here today. So, as is all the neighborhoods. So. And I'll tell you, my job as a city councilman, I'm learning more and more, is about working with the different department heads. And one department head I'm proud to work with, and is easy, very easy to work with, is Mr. Ross Chapman and his cast. I mean, they really do a phenomenal job. I love the other directors too, Mr. Gable and Janet, you know, so. So they're all good at what they do, but particularly what you do, Ross, and you're such an easy person to work with. I really appreciate your leadership. And it's not just about kids anymore. You know, as we said, when we change this to healthy, well, and healthy, active living, I see that right before my eyes, you all being here. I mean, this really is. I joke with Corey. That's a joke, of course, but you are young. I think either you're getting younger or I'm getting older. I'm not sure yet, but either way, it looks good on you. So I'm going to read the proclamation from the city. Whereas for 33 years, the City of Pittsburgh senior volunteers have made significant contributions that provide healthy, active, and independent living in the neighborhoods. And whereas nearly 1,000 Pittsburghers 60 years of age or older have contributed to over 100,000 hours of volunteer service, worth over $1 million to Pittsburgh residents. And whereas Senior Volunteer Recognition Day is an annual event that recognizes Pittsburgh senior volunteers for the generous contributions to the quality of life in the city of Pittsburgh and to the Citiparks Healthy Active Living programs at their 13 neighborhood community centers. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Mayor William Peduto, not me, but in substitute for him, of the city of Pittsburgh, do thank all our volunteers for their dedication and service to the people of Pittsburgh and the betterment of the communities. Furthermore, declaring Friday, May 17th, 2019 as Annual Senior Volunteer Recognition Day here on our most livable city of Pittsburgh. Congratulations. We're going to get you food real quick now, so I think, Russ, you want to take over from here? Thanks for having me. Proud to be here.
Thank you, Councilman. At this time, I'd like to read a little bio about Joey Lynn Aldrich, which is someone that's played an integral role in delivering programming and kind of healthy wellness, well-being activities directed at a number of folks that are, many of you that are in this room. And she predates me as far as her relationship goes to the senior program. She's here with us today to say a few words, but her bio is pretty interesting because there's a few things in here I didn't know, and I think we have time for me to read it. It's not very long. Just months ago, Joey Lynn Aldrich started as a new executive director for Economic Development South, where she hopes to blend her love of community development with her passion for the outdoors, all based on building blocks of much of her professional experiences in the nonprofit sector. Prior to joining EDS, she was executive director of Venture Outdoors. That's how many of us know her and have met her, for 5 years. She also worked for the Girl Scouts organization, where she spent 3 years in retail and product sales for the Sierra Nevada Council, before moving back to Pittsburgh, where she spent the next 3 years overseeing outdoor camps and programming for the local Girl Scout Council of Western Pennsylvania. For over 20 years, her career has been in the nonprofit sector because she truly believes that volunteers can make a tremendous difference, and she's dedicated her life to making change throughout the region. This is a fun fact, and this is why I kind of wanted to read that whole thing. I didn't know this. After graduating from college and serving 2 years in the AmeriCorps, I didn't know that, her first job was right here in Citiparks, where she worked at the Warrington Community Recreation Center and then for the Community Enrichment Program. So I want to thank Joey Lynn sincerely. We've worked together for a long time since I've been in Parks, and she's done a lot. So I wish her the best of luck as she transitions into her new position, and I'm glad she could be here with us today. Joey Lynn, would you come up, please? Thanks.
Thanks, Ross, and thank all of you. I'm privileged and honored to be speaking in front of you and talking to you about the importance of volunteerism. If you would have told me 25 years ago when I was working at the Recreation Center that 25 years later I'd be standing here speaking to you, I would never have believed you. Another fun fact was that when I was in AmeriCorps, my boss, who's continued to be a mentor and almost like a second mom to me, was Gloria. So Gloria's influenced me my entire career, and I'm grateful for that. But I want to talk about a little bit about the importance of volunteerism. I grew up in the Allentown neighborhood and the Hilltop communities. And so very much the work that I'm doing, and I'm on day 10 of the job of being the new executive director at Economic Development South. So I'm very, very new there, but I feel like it's coming home. When I was growing up in Allentown, my mom was involved in the Civic Association at the time. And so ever since I was old enough to sit at community meetings and color and be quiet, I've been involved in the community. So it's part of my DNA. I believe to my core that what happens in our neighborhoods, in our cities, could not happen without the work of volunteers. And so I'm honored to be here and honored to be recognizing all of you as you are here celebrating the work. So I would like to pause and just give all of you again a round of applause for your volunteerism. So I really just have 3 points when I think about volunteerism and the work that you're doing that I'd like to share with you. And the first one is just really around building community. There's no better way that I can think of than volunteering and connecting with your neighbors, the individuals that you have lunch with at the senior center, if you play cards, or if you go on, small plug, the Venture Outdoors, again, hikes with Venture Outdoors, you're building a sense of community, and that's so critically important, not only for the individuals, but you yourself in keeping you healthy and active. The second thing that I think about when I think about volunteers is really the wisdom, particularly all of you in this room, that you're sharing. If it wasn't for the stories that you're sharing and your life experiences that you're sharing amongst each other, and for those of you that are interacting with younger children, you can't really, there's no way to replace that amount of wisdom that you're carrying on in future generations. And I'm certainly a product of that. If it wasn't for the wisdom that my grandparents and my parents instilled in me, I wouldn't be who I am today. So thank you for that, and continue to share those stories. And finally, I do think the importance of paying it forward to the next generation is so important. County Executive Fitzgerald talked about the new people in our neighborhoods that are here, and they need to understand the importance of the core of who we are as Pittsburghers. And that starts with all of you, talking about why did you come to Pittsburgh, what was important to you, and sharing that among the youth and among your neighbors and colleagues and friends and family. That's so important because it does spread. Volunteerism spreads like wildfire, kindness spreads like wildfire amongst each other. So I can't think of a greater group of individuals than all of you in this room to be honoring the work and the commitment that you make every day to your centers, to your communities, and to the city. So thank you very much, and enjoy lunch.
Okay, thank you, Joey Lynn. I would like to, because I think it's lunchtime, just about, I would like to welcome Deacon Edward Charlie. Okay. Deacon Charlie is going to sing and dedicate a song to his friend, Mr. C. We're not done with you yet. Not at all. So, Deacon Edward Charlie. And also, he is going to do our blessing for lunch.
Thank you very much. Good morning. When she asked me to do this song, I couldn't think of anything that would benefit Charlie. And then I finally came up with a song that I think pays tribute to Charlie. And that song is Everywhere You Go. I'll do it, and then the second time I do it, I want everyone to join me. Everywhere you go, sunshine follows you. Everywhere you go, skies are always blue. Children love you, they seem to know you'd make roses grow in the snow. The whole world says hello. Everywhere you go. Now join me. Everywhere you go, sunshine follows you. Everywhere you go, skies are always blue. Children love you, they seem to know you'd make roses grow in the snow. The whole world says hello. Everywhere you go. Now do blessings. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Father, we thank you for the light of another day. We thank you for your grace, your mercy, your love, and your kindness. We thank you for being a God who's better to us than we are to ourselves. Now, Father, we ask your blessings on everyone under the sound of my voice. And Father, we ask that you would bless and help us to be truly thankful for that which we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies. In the precious name of Jesus, amen.
I just want to extend a huge thanks for everyone that was up here that spoke to you today, County Exec, Councilman, folks from Congressman Doyle's office, Deacon Ed. Thanks everyone for being here. Joey Lynn, it was special to have you here. Good luck on your transition. Please, everyone, enjoy your lunch. Know how much what you do means to us, and please continue to do it with us and for us. Thanks again for being here.
Pittsburgh's healthy, active living centers are fantastic. There are 13 of them throughout the city, and it's not just about bingo. It's where people go to go on field trips, to theatrical productions, to ball games. It's where people go to meet new members of the community and eventually become family. If you want more information, check them out at this web address, citiparks.net. That's citiparks.net. I'm John McIntyre for City Channel Pittsburgh.